Have you ever felt that sort of nagging frustration, that sense that, okay, you're putting in the effort, you're setting these big goals, but somehow real lasting change just feels slippery, hard to grasp?
Absolutely. It's such a common feeling.
Right. And it often comes down to this, well, this misunderstanding about how progress actually works. James Clear, in his big book, Atomic Habits, he really turns that on its head.
He really does.
He shows this profound truth. It's the small, almost invisible shifts,
Yeah.
the ones you do consistently. They compound into these really remarkable outcomes.
Like compound interest, he calls it.
Exactly, the compound interest of self-improvement. Think about it, just a 1% improvement each day. Seems like nothing, right?
Insignificant almost.
But over a year, it's huge, it's transformative. So our mission today in this deep dive into Clear's work is basically to distill all of that, the essence, the deep insights, the practical stuff, specifically for you listening. We want to help you find that shortcut, to building better systems for lasting change, using the insights and questions you've shared with us.
And that word you just used, systems, that's precisely where Clear fundamentally reframes everything.
Right.
Most people, right, when they think self-improvement or tackling some new challenge,
Yeah.
they focus almost entirely on the goals. They think, oh, if I just had more motivation or, more discipline.
Right, I just need more willpower. We've all said that.
Exactly. But what this deep dive is going to unpack, and what Clear argues so compellingly, is that something else matters way more than the goal itself.
Okay, what is it?
Your underlying systems.
Systems, not goals.
Systems over goals. That takes us right to the core philosophy of Atomic Habits.
Okay.
So the distinction Clear makes is actually pretty simple, but we tend to overlook it. Goals are the results you want. Lose a weight, write the book, whatever it is.
That finish line.
The finish line, exactly. But systems.
Yeah.
Systems are the processes, the repeated actions that actually get you there.
Yeah.
And the deepest change, the stuff that sticks, it's not just about hitting an outcome.
It's more than that.
It's about who you become.
Yeah.
It's identity-based.
Yeah.
You don't just want to say, lose weight. You want to be the kind of person who is healthy and active. That's the shift.
Okay. That feels different.
It is. And Claire has this quote that just nails it. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become.
Wow. Okay. Say that again. Every action.
Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. What's so powerful about that for you listening is it takes the pressure off these huge, daunting leaps.
Right.
Instead, it focuses on the tiny, deliberate choices you make every day. Each small choice isn't just moving you towards a result. It's reinforcing, cementing that identity you want.
That makes so much sense because I think we've all been there, haven't we? You set that huge goal, you get that initial burst of motivation, and then you hit a wall. Progress feels slow or non-existent, and we blame ourselves. Oh, I just don't have the willpower. Maybe you felt that frustration yourself with the challenges you've told us about.
It's almost universal.
So if it's not just about willpower, and if goals aren't the main thing, how do we actually do this? How do we shift from that goal-first thinking to, building these effective systems? Is it like flipping a switch?
Well, not quite like flipping a switch. It's definitely more of a gradual rewiring. But the good news is Clear gives us a really practical framework for it.
Okay, good. Practical is good.
He breaks down how habits form into what he calls the 4 laws of behavior change. Think of them as like a roadmap, a way to make the good habits almost inevitable.
Okay, the 4 laws. Let's unpack these. This sounds like the blueprint for actually engineering better habits into your life, right?
Exactly. Law number 1 is make it obvious.
Make it obvious. Sounds simple.
It sounds simple, but it challenges that idea that habits are always conscious choices. Often they're not. They're triggered by cues in our environment we don't even really notice. So Clear's point is you have to actually see your habits to change them. He even suggests this thing called a habit scorecard.
A scorecard?
Yeah, just writing down everything you do in a day. Simple, but it shines a light on those automatic, unconscious patterns.
Yeah.
You become aware.
That's really interesting. So it implies our environment plays a much bigger role than maybe our willpower does.
Huge role.
It shifts the blame almost from what's wrong with me to maybe what's going on in my surroundings.
Precisely.
So like his examples,
Yeah.
If you want to eat healthier, don't hide the fruit in the fridge drawer. Put a fruit bowl right there on the counter where you can't miss it.
Make it obvious.
Or you want to exercise more, put your running shoes right by the door. You basically remove that little mental hurdle, that decision point.
Exactly. You're designing your environment to make the good choice the easy, obvious choice. It cuts down on that decision fatigue that drains our energy before we even start. You just see it. You do it.
Okay, makes sense. What's law 2?
Law 2 is make it attractive. Our brains are fundamentally wired to move towards things we find appealing or rewarding.
Naturally.
So you need to make the habit seem desirable. One really effective technique Claire talks about is temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling sounds fun.
It kind of is. You pair a habit you want to build with something you already enjoy doing.
Ah, okay. Like how?
Well, say you love listening to a certain podcast, right? But you struggle to get your daily walk in. You make a rule. You only get to listen to that podcast while you're walking. Suddenly, the walk isn't just a walk, it's your podcast time. It becomes more attractive.
That's clever. You're linking the chore to a reward. And he also talks about the social side of this, right? How much other people influence us.
Oh, massively. Habits are deeply social. We don't form them in isolation. Clear points out we're heavily influenced by, as he puts it, the close, the many, and the powerful.
The close, the many, the powerful. So family and close friends?
Yep, the close, peer groups, the culture around us.
The many.
And people we admire or look up to the powerful.
Got it.
So if you want to, say, read more books, joining a book club or just hanging out with friends who are always reading makes that habit way more attractive. It feels normal, desirable, part of the group identity.
Yeah, you want to fit in, basically. It tricks your brain. Okay, so make it obvious, make it attractive. What's number 3?
Number 3, make it easy. This is a big one. So many people rely on motivation, but motivation, it comes and goes.
It's so unreliable.
Totally. What you really need is to reduce the friction. Make the habit easy. The best habits, the ones that stick, are the ones that become almost effortless, automatic.
Like brushing your teeth?
Exactly. You don't need motivation for that. And this leads to Clear's brilliant 2-minute rule.
The 2-minute rule. I like the sound of that.
The idea is, when you're starting a new habit, make it so small it takes just 2 minutes or less to do.
2 minutes. That's it.
That's it. Want to read more? Don't commit to a chapter. Commit to reading 1 page. Want to start running? Just commit to putting on your running shoes.
Just put the shoes on.
Just put the shoes on. The point is to lower the barrier to starting so much that it's almost impossible not to do it. You build the ritual first.
I can see how that works, because sometimes just putting on the running shoes, even if I then, just walk around the house, it still feels like a tiny win.
Exactly. It's a vote for that identity.
This law feels like such a great antidote to feeling overwhelmed, which I know many of us listening have felt. You have this huge goal, and it just seems impossible. But making it just 2 minutes, that makes these big changes feel, well, approachable. It removes that mental block that stops you before you even start.
Precisely. It's about mastering the art of showing up.
Yeah.
Then comes the final law, number 4. Make it satisfying.
Okay, satisfying, we like satisfying.
We do. This is about the feedback loop. For a habit to stick, it needs to feel rewarding, preferably immediately. Our brains prioritize immediate rewards over delayed ones.
Right, the instant gratification thing.
Exactly. So you need to find a way to give yourself an immediate win. It could be super simple, like marking an X on a habit tracker. Seeing that chain grow is surprisingly satisfying.
Yeah, that don't break the chain idea.
Totally. Or it could be a small, healthy reward right after you do the habit. The main idea is, if the process feels good, even in a small way, your brain gets a little dopamine hit and says, hey, let's do that again.
And that creates this positive cycle, right? The satisfaction makes you want to do it again, which builds consistency.
Which makes it easier, which makes it more satisfying. It becomes self-reinforcing.
Okay, so those are the 4 laws for building good habits. Obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying. But what about the other side of the coin? Those pesky bad habits we all struggle with.
Yes, breaking bad habits. Clear has a really elegant solution for that, too.
Don't leave us hanging.
You just invert the laws.
Invert them, like do the opposite.
Exactly. To break a bad habit, you apply the inverse of each of the 4 laws.
Okay, walk us through that. So the opposite of make it obvious is?
Make it invisible. If a cue triggers a bad habit, remove the cue. Simple as that. If you snack mindlessly while watching TV, don't keep snacks near the couch. If you waste time on your phone,
put it in another room.
Put it in another room. Make the trigger invisible. It's about redesigning your environment to hide those cues.
Okay. Opposite of make it attractive.
Make it unattractive. This is more about shifting your mindset. Reframe the benefits of avoiding the bad habit. Focus on the negative consequences. Remind yourself why you want to stop. Connect it to something undesirable in your mind.
So instead of thinking about the immediate pleasure, focus on the long-term pain or cost.
Exactly. Change the story you tell yourself about it. Then the inverse of make it easy is,
Make it difficult. Add friction.
you got it. Increase the number of steps between you and the bad habit. If you want to watch less TV, maybe unplug it after each use or take the batteries out of the remote.
Oh, that's devious. I like it.
That little bit of extra effort can be enough to deter you in the moment. Delete distracting apps from your phone. Force yourself to log in via a browser. Add those speed bumps.
Okay, and the last one. Opposite of make it satisfying.
Make it unsatisfying. Find a way to introduce an immediate cost or consequence to the bad habit.
Like an accountability partner.
Perfect example, someone who will call you out. Or maybe a consequence jar. Every time you slip up, you have to put money in it, maybe money that goes to something you don't like. The point is to make the immediate result of the bad habit unpleasant.
So you're essentially reversing the reward system. Okay, that framework, both for building good and breaking bad, is incredibly practical.
It really is. But there's another core message from Clear that's so important, especially when you start applying this stuff.
What is that?
It's about patience and understanding something he calls the plateau of latent potential.
Plateau of latent potential. Sounds intriguing.
It's this idea that results often don't come immediately. You put in the work, you stick to the system, but you don't see much change at first. It feels like you're flatlining.
Yeah, the is this even working phase.
Exactly. He uses the metaphor of an ice cube. You raise the temperature from, say, 25 degrees to 26, 27, 28. Nothing seems to happen.
Still ice.
Still ice. But then you hit 32 degrees, and suddenly, bang, it melts. The change was happening all along below the surface, but the breakthrough only becomes visible at a certain point.
Ah, okay. So the work isn't wasted, it's just accumulating.
It's compounding silently. But many people quit during that plateau in what Clear calls the valley of disappointment. They get discouraged because they expect linear progress.
And progress is rarely linear, is it?
Rarely. So the key message here is trust the process. Stick with your systems, even when the results aren't obvious yet. Those tiny gains are adding up.
That is such a powerful reassurance, especially for anyone listening who's felt that frustration you're putting in the effort day after day, and it feels like nothing's changing. It connects back to that long game. True mastery, like Clear says, isn't usually about some dramatic leap. It's about those consistent, maybe even boring fundamentals stacking up over time. It really flies in the face of our whole instant gratification culture.
It absolutely does. And that leads to the idea of long-term success. What often separates the best from the rest isn't talent, it's the willingness to show up and do the work, even when it's monotonous.
Falling in love with the process, not just the outcome.
Exactly. Mastery is about embracing the boredom, refining the fundamentals, day in, day out.
And that process isn't set in stone either, right? He talks about reviewing and adjusting your habits.
Crucial point. Your identity evolves, your goals might shift, so your systems need to evolve too. You need to regularly check in. Are these habits still serving me? Are they still aligned with the person I want to be now?
So you're not trapped by the systems you set up last year.
Not at all. It's a dynamic process. You constantly refine, tweak, and align your habits with your evolving identity.
Okay, so wrapping this all up then, bringing this deep dive home for you listening, what are the absolute key takeaways from Atomic Habits?
Well, first, really internalize that tiny habits are the engines of destiny. Don't dismiss the 1% improvements. They matter immensely over time.
Okay, small changes, big impact, got it.
Second, shift your focus. It's not just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming someone. Let every action be a vote for that identity you aspire to.
Becoming, not just achieving. I like that.
And maybe the most practical takeaway,
Yeah.
be intentional about your systems and your environment. Don't just rely on willpower. Build a setup that makes the good habits easy and obvious and the bad habits difficult and invisible.
Design your world for success.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
And remember, progress might feel slow sometimes, painfully slow even, but trust that it is compounding. The real power isn't just sticking with it day after day, even when you can't see the immediate payoff.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
You really do have the power right now to start transforming your life. Not necessarily through some huge dramatic decision, but by making those tiny, deliberate choices again and again and again, until eventually the results you want become almost inevitable. So maybe the final thought to leave you with today is this. Reflect for a moment. What's one tiny choice, just one small action you can take today to cast a vote for the person you wish to become?